I'm AC. Welcome to Bit Seizure. Today I'm going to be showing you all the Famicom games I got whilst I was in Japan. First of all, I actually have myself a Power Glove. That's right. Part of the Famicom family, apparently, was actually released in Japan, although proved to be not so popular. It was even less of a novelty over in Japan than it was pretty much everywhere else. I got this little baby at a junk store for about $30. It works as far as I can tell, but that doesn't really say much. Okay, the first interesting thing I have over here is actually a mahjong game. So when you think about it, not really that interesting. Now you've got this kind of special controller here, and it is by Capcom, and it plugs into the auxiliary port of a Famicom. However, in the end, no matter what you've got, it's still just mahjong, so it's not really that great. Now, as you'll see down here, we've actually got quite a selection of interesting games, which we're all going to get to. There's the Jackie Chan one there. Now, an interesting one here is Hogan's Alley, which is actually a zapper game, I suppose you would say. Now, the original Famicom had like a 6-shooter style, which you once again plugged into the auxiliary port. The good news is that you can actually put this in a converter, and you can still use a Famicom zapper in the second control port, and it will still work. So if you do want to get Hogan's Alley overseas and you've got a converter, it should work. Yes, well, we all know what this is, don't we? Ghouls and ghosts, or ghosts and ghouls, or whatever, I don't know. King Kong 2, I don't even know what King Kong 1 is. A gold card here, which is Dragon Buster, which is a little bit of fun. Mappy Land, a very early Famicom game. Okay, we'll just keep going along here. Astro Boy, Kirby, one of the later ones. However, since it has battery backup, it seems to not work as well as some of the other ones I've got. Karnov was actually recommended by me to a friend of mine. So we're going to get to that one specifically soon. Alright, we'll just keep going along here. Now look, Akari Warriors. As far as I can tell, you can't get the ABBA, or whatever the cheat is, to work, which might be a bit of a problem actually getting past the first screen of that game. Labyrinth, a little bit of 8-bit Bowie for you. Interestingly enough, I don't know whether it was released outside of Japan. However, this one is a bit of fun. Once again, we'll get to it at some stage. Super Xevious. Now, I've already got Xevious for the Atari 7800. Interestingly enough, I've never... when I played this, it was actually quite different from the 7800 and the arcade, so I guess that's the super portion of it. And we've got Ninja Gaiden, recommended, or rather requested, by my good friend, Elchan, and we'll do a review of that a bit later on. It's just cheaper to get it on Famicom, and I don't think there's any difference. Got a Mickey Mouse game here that's not great. We've got 2 oversized Jalco games here. Both of them pretty much RPGs, although the one on the left is a bit more of an action game than anything else. Now we've got, on the left here, we've got Salamander. Interesting card because it's transparent and it's by Konami. Binary Land, which is once again a little bit interesting. However, Bird Week, don't ever play that. It is just one of the lamest games ever, pretty much. Now, this one's interesting because we've got here, it looks like Kiss, and it's licensed by CBS and Sony. However, the Japanese here says Seikimatsu too. Seikimatsu means apocalypse, so I guess they had to change it because nobody knew who Kiss was in Japan. Interesting. We've got Knight Rider over here, which you can guess is a driving simulator. We've got Hitler's Rival Top Secret. I think I'm translating that correctly, which I think in the West would have been called Bionic Commando. Okay. Now here is the Famicom game to NES converter. I actually do have several Famicoms, however, because we run on a different power supply here in Australia, 240 volts, it's sometimes easier just to convert rather than get a different transformer. And another thing here we've got that I wanted a game machine of all things. We've got Super Mario Brothers blocks and an official coin here with the Nintendo logo on it. Golgo 13 and some kind of Nazi game. And here we've got the worst game ever, possibly for the Famicom, which is Takeshi's Challenge. We'll also get to that one a bit later on, mainly because we hate you. Okay, and Willow. Now, I did play this for a little while, and it is Capcom, so I thought it would be good, but I just couldn't get it to do what I wanted to do. It wasn't very exciting, at least for the first half an hour, which really tells you something about a game. Okay, and we do actually have 2 Disk System games. We've got 3D Hot Rally, Famicom Grand Prix 2. This is interesting because I don't think it's ever been opened before. I actually opened it for the first time. And then we've got Volleyball, which is the side B, and Kick and Run, which is side A of this system. I'm not sure whether that works or not. I do have a Disk System en route to Australia. I don't think it works and it needs a new belt, but I'll try and repair it. And of course I have the Family Computer 101, or HVC 101, which is basically an updated version of the Famicom. However, it has no microphone on either ports. And the leash is a little short. So thank you very much for watching this one. Next time I'll be back for the I say SNES, it's actually the Super Famicom games.